The peak body representing Strata title residents in New South Wales met the state government today to address problems with construction standards following the Opal and Mascot Tower debacles. The Strata Community Association says tens of thousands of Strata residents face financial ruin or hardship as they try to fix problems left by shoddy builders. Chris Duggan is the association's president and joins me now. Thank you for coming in. What did you say to the minister? What does the Strata Association want?
So the main thrust of our conversation with the ministry and staff was that we want to work with them to restore confidence back into the apartment sector. And that confidence has been hit. It's been hit hard. And it's been hit because of systemic defects that we've seen with issues such as Mascot and cladding issues, which is now riddled across buildings in New South Wales.
How are you going to get that confidence back?
So we have a 7-point plan that we presented, and the two areas that we want to focus on is a support package for owners that are affected. So this is for people who are footing the bill for issues they didn't create, and we're looking for some sort of support or subsidy, which we're working with the government on around how we can support those people when they're faced with these issues. And the second is accountability. So accountability for those throughout the supply chain. I mean, in the minister's own word, we're here because of speed and greed, and we want to see the brakes put on that and make sure that it's quality construction.
Okay, so aside from accountability, you're asking for a financial package. Have you put a value on that? And essentially, you can confirm this is a taxpayer bailout you're looking for.
We estimated that the cladding impact alone was somewhere near the $1 billion mark, and we've asked the government to look at how they can support lot owners who are affected. And they have stepped in limited circumstances without wanting to set a precedent for owners who were affected by the Mascot disaster, for example. And I can understand the reluctance of the government to commit to $1 until we actually know the full quantum of what this cladding crisis looks like. But I think the government has the position and the ability to be able to influence those people who ought to be responsible and maybe put pressure on them to come to the table and solve this problem.
What will be the result if you don't get what you're asking for?
Look, we're happy that the government has a commitment to building better quality buildings moving forward, and the appointment of a building commissioner imminently is the first step around them building better buildings for tomorrow. Part of what we're looking for today is how do they support those owners who find themselves in situations outside of their control, dealing with financial duress and emotional issues when they find their building riddled with defects or with other cladding related issues at the moment.
What's been the effect on unit sales?
You'd have to think it's softened and dampened units. We're certainly not experts in real estate sales, but we've seen off the plan sales soften significantly, and it all comes down to consumer confidence. Our job is to advocate on behalf of unit owners and strata plans across New South Wales, and we think by improving confidence, logically, the market would be stronger.
Have various strata committees been in touch with you in the wake of the Opal and Mascot issues to say, actually, we too are facing problems? What do we do?
Look, many of these owners don't want to identify themselves. The problem we have is that once you out yourself as a building that's affected, it has devastating impact on the value of your property. So you can imagine that these buildings are very reluctant champions of defects and the like, and often they're outed because of litigation or some other form, and when they do come out, it has a devastatingly and cripples the value of their property. So we are being contacted, but we're being contacted anonymously, or we're aware of those buildings, but we certainly don't want to long-term impact their value.
There have been plenty of headlines today about huge amounts of legal action in the wake of the Opal Tower apartment owners' decision to sue the state government here in New South Wales. Is that really likely, particularly when there is such reluctance to identify that there is a problem in a building?
The Opal litigation is interesting. It's the first time I'm aware of that a class action's been launched against the government in particular as landowner in this instance. And whilst it's a fairly unusual scenario, I think it signals that there are now groups of owners getting advice about who is responsible. And if the government is responsible in this particular issue, then they'll be pursued. But likewise, the process for pursuing a builder and developer is complicated, costly, and we're asking for reforms about getting better access to lot owners who are inexperienced, who didn't bring on this disaster and have to then navigate very complicated litigation just to get a better deal.
Chris Duggan, thank you.
Thank you.